morning everyone. Myself Rehana Urezi from Knowledge Institute of Nursing Anand. Today in Child Health Nursing, we will continue with Unit 3 with topic Essential Newborn Care. So introduction, first we will see introduction. Essential care of the normal healthy neonates can be best provided by the mothers under supervision of nursing personnel or basic or primary healthcare providers. About 80% of the newborn babies should be kept with their mothers rather than in a separate nursery. So this essential care can be provided by the mother but under the supervision of any nursing personnel or either any primary healthcare worker. So this care can be provided by mother also, and this care is provided to normal healthy neonates, means those are neonates who are healthy, and about 80% of the newborn babies should be kept with their mother. So these newborns after the delivery, after the birth, they should be kept with their mothers rather than in a separate nursery. Then healthy newborn. A healthy infant born at term between 38 to 42 weeks should have average birth weight, cries immediately following birth, establishes independent rhythmic respiration and quickly adapts to the changed environment. So those newborns who are healthy, they are born at the term that is between 38 to 42 weeks, and they should have average birth weight, means it is between 2.5 to 3.9 kg. The birth weight should be there, and the baby should cry immediately after the birth. Then should establish independent rhythmic respiration, and quickly the baby should adjust to the new environment, that is from intrauterine environment to the extrauterine environment. So this is the characteristics about healthy newborn. Then immediate basic care. So there are 5 immediate basic care that is provided to newborn after the birth. That is, first is maintenance of temperature, then establishment of open airway and circulation. Third is identification of newborn. Fourth is vitamin K injection, and fifth is initiation of breastfeeding. So we will see all this basic care one by one. First is maintenance of temperature. So immediately dry the infant under a radiant warmer. So immediately after the birth of a baby, we should keep the baby under the radiant warmer, and in radiant warmer only we have to dry the baby. Then we have to put skin to skin contact with the mother. Then keep neonates head cover. We have to cover the head of the neonates with either any cotton cloth. Then rooming in, the baby should not be separated from the mother. Rooming in means that the baby and mother should be kept together. They should not be separated. The heat regulating mechanism is not mature, so conservation of the body heat is important. Heat loss mainly occurs due to evaporation, radiation, conduction, etc. So in these newborn babies, the heat regulating mechanism is there, but in these newborn babies, it is still not mature. So there is chances that there will be heat loss. So to conserve this body heat, it is important so we can prevent this heat loss. And heat loss mainly occurs in this newborn by evaporation, radiation and conduction. The ambient room temperature maintained is 28 to 30 degrees centigrade. So the room temperature it should be maintained and the humidity should be above 50%. Then baby bath can be postponed for 12 hours as there are chances of heat loss, so we should avoid the baby bath for at least 12 hours. Then second is establishment of open airway. Majority of baby cry at birth and take spontaneous respiration. So immediately after the birth, the baby starts crying. That is first cry is present. And when this cry is present, the baby starts this spontaneous respiration. Means at that time only the respiration starts. When the head is delivered, birth attendant immediately suction the secretions, wipe mucus from face and mouth and nose. So immediately after the delivery of head, because as the head is first delivered in the normal pregnancy, normal delivery, so head is delivered first. So what does the attendant do? The attendant will immediately do suction, suctioning the secretions and will wipe the mucus from face, mouth and nose. Then suction the mouth and nose by using bulb seeding. On the right side, the picture is of bulb seeding. So we have to suction the mouth and nose by using this bulb seeding and keep head slightly lower than the body. We have to keep the head slightly lower than the body. We can do it by slightly extending from the neck. Then position the baby on their backs or tilted to the side but not on their stomach. So while doing this suctioning, the baby's position should be either supine position or either any side lying position, but there should not be any but there should not be prone position. Okay, so this is the picture about suctioning from the mouse. Then importance of suctioning. So several natural mechanisms help with this. Uh, that before we have seen that suctioning we are doing by ourselves, but naturally also there will be suctioning. So that we will see that how natural mechanisms happen. So as the fetal chest passes through the birth canal, it is compressed, squeezing excess fluid out of the lungs prior to the baby taking its first breath. So what happened? So after the delivery of the head, then the baby's trunk will be delivered. So when this chest passes through the birth canal, means through the vaginal passage, so it gets compressed. Then after the compression, there will be squeezing. Means in lungs there are excess of the fluid. So these fluids will be squeezed out of the baby taking its first breath. Before taking the first breath, from the baby's lung, this excess fluid will be squeezed out. Then after several seconds in this partly delivered position, fluid can be seen streaming out of the baby's nose and mouth. So after within some seconds only, we will see that this squeeze out fluid, we can see it from streaming out of the baby's nose and mouth. Then after birth, babies will be cough and sneeze, mobilizing additional fluid that may be in their lungs. So if still there is any additional fluid left in the lungs, then this will come out by coughing and sneezing. Then newborn identification. So newborn identification before a baby leaves the delivery area, identification bracelets with identical numbers are placed on the baby and mother. Babies often have two on the wrist and ankle. So for the identification of the newborn, as newborn are not given name soon immediately after the birth. So we can write like baby girl of Mrs. Smith or baby girl of Mrs. Saxena. So likewise, we have to give the names and we have to tag it on the baby's head, baby's leg, and baby's hand. So two we have to tag. So in the picture, this is tag on the baby's leg and this is tag on the newborn's hand. Then vitamin K. So vitamin K prevent neonatal hemorrhage during first few days of life before infant is able to produce vitamin K administration. So naturally vitamin K produces in our body, but but in newborn it is still production is not happening. So we have to give vitamin K from outside. So this vitamin K prevents neonatal hemorrhage, and we have to administer this vitamin K. So in term infants it is given IM 1 mg, then in preterm infants it is given 0.5 mg IM. Alternative route is oral dose is given 2 mg orally at birth and repeat dose is given 2 mg at 3 to 5 days, and again we have to give at 4 to 6 weeks of age. So this is vitamin K injection and it is given IM. And next is initiation of breastfeeding. So baby can be breastfed as soon as the airway is clear and they are breathing normally. So as soon as the airway is clear and the breathing is established, we have to take the newborn to their mother for the breastfeeding. Then daily routine care of newborn. So firstly we have seen the immediate care of newborn. Now we will see that what routine care you can give to the neonate. So the majority of complication of the normal newborn may occur during first 24 hours or within 7 days. So close observation and daily essential routine care is important for health and survival of the newborn baby. So sometimes in majority of the cases, complications in this newborn occur during first 24 hours and within 7 days of life. So during this period, close observation is necessary, and one should also provide the daily essential routine care so that for the health and survival of the newborn. The daily routine care of the neonates are as follows: warmth, breastfeeding, skin care and baby bath, care of umbilical cord, care of the eyes, clothing of the baby, general care, observation, taking anthropometric measurement, immunization, follow-up and advice. So in warmth is provided by keeping the baby dry and wrapping the baby with adequate clothing in two layers, ensuring head and extremities are well covered. Baby should kept by the side of the mother. So for providing warmth, we have to cover the baby in some cotton cloth, and in 2-3 layers we have to cover the baby, and we have to ensure that the baby's head and extremities are well covered. and the baby should always be kept by the side of the mother so that the baby can get the warmth from mother also. And next is breastfeeding. So the breastfeeding should be, the baby should be put to the mother's breast within half an hour of birth or as soon as possible the mother has recovered from the exhaustion of labor. So breastfeeding should be start as early as possible, that is within half an hour of the birth or as soon as possible the mother has recovered from the exhaustion of labor, that is as soon as the mother recovers from the labor pain, the we have to start the breastfeeding. Then skincare and baby bath. The skin should be clean of blood, mucus and meconium by gentle wiping before he or she is presented to the mother. So before we are giving the baby to the mother, we have to clean the skin because on the skin there will be blood, mucus, meconium, warning scabiosa, all will be present on the skin. So before giving it to the mother, we have to clean the baby gently. Then baby bath can be given at the hospital or home by using warm water in a warm room gently and quickly. So after 12, firstly it was told that we have to postpone the baby bath for 12 hours. So after 12 hours we can give the baby bath. So this baby bath can be given at a hospital also and at home also. And we have to use warm water in a warm room and we have to give baby bath gently and quickly. And first bath. Once the baby's temperature has stabilized, the first bath can be given. So once the baby's temperature gets normal, we can give the first bath. Cord blood collection. Make sure cord blood is collected for analysis and sent to laboratory for checking of RH blood type, hematocrit, and possible cord blood gases. So we can collect the blood from the cord for laboratory to send in the laboratory for analysis. So we can analyze RH blood type, hematocrit, and other cord blood gases. And care of the umbilical cord. So just cord stump we have to clean it and we have to dry it. And topical application of antiseptics is usually not necessary. If the baby is in highly contaminated area, then only application of antiseptics is necessary. But if the baby is not in highly contaminated area, then one should not apply antiseptics. The umbilical cord is clamped and cut about 5 centimeter. So when the baby is always attached to the mother by umbilical cord. So this umbilical cord is cut and clamped about 5 centimeter away from the abdomen. That is 2 inches away from the abdomen. We have to cut the umbilical cord. If the cord starts bleeding, then we have to take additional ligature. And we have to observe this umbilical cord, the stump of the cord for 3 openings, that is 2 arteries and 1 vein. These are the 3 blood vessels that are present in the umbilical cord. And daily we have to observe this umbilical cord for any redness, discharge and inflammation. Then care of the eyes. So eyes should be clean at birth and once in every day. So every day and immediately after the birth, we have to clean the eyes using either sterile cotton swabs soaked in sterile water or normal saline. And we have to use separate swabs for each eye and clean the eyes from inner canthus to outer canthus. Then clothing of the baby. So the baby should always be dressed in a loose, soft and cotton clothes and the frock that are open on the, and if we are providing the frock for wearing, then we have to make sure that the frock is open on the front and back so that baby can wear it easily. A large button synthetic frock and plastic or nylon napkins should be avoided. Then general care, it includes grooming in gentle approach, aseptic technique, sensory stimulation, tender and loving care. Then next is observation. So the baby should be kept in continuous observation twice daily for detection of any abnormality. So the nurse should do observation twice in a day so to detect any changes or any abnormalities. Then anthropometric measurement. So in anthropometric measurement, the nurse has to measure weight, length, head circumference and chest circumference. So the average daily weight gain for healthy term babies is about 30 gram per day in the first month of life. So in the first month of life, the baby's weight will increase daily, that is 30 gram per day. Then in the second month, it is about 20 gram per day increment, and in the first year of life, it is 10 gram per day. Then length we have to measure from top of the head to the heel with the leg fully extended, and average range is 18 to 22 inches, that is 46 to 56 centimeter. Then head circumference average range is 33 to 35 centimeters, and it is normally 2 centimeter larger than chest circumference. Then chest circumference average range is 30 to 33 centimeter, and we have to measure this chest circumference at the nipple line. Then immunization. So newborns should be immunized with BCG vaccine and zero dose of OPV, that is oral polio vaccine. Hepatitis B vaccine can be administered at birth at first as first dose, and other two doses in 1 month and 6 months of age. So as per the immunization schedule, we have to give immunization to the newborn, and at the birth as BCG vaccine is given, OPV zero dose is given, and hepatitis B vaccine is given. So these three vaccines should be given immediately after the birth of the baby. Then follow up and advice. So each infant should be followed up at least once every month for first 3 months, and subsequently 3 month interval till 1 year of age. So we have to call the infant for follow up for at least every month for the first 3 months. So in the first 3 months of life, we have to call the infant newborn for follow up for every monthly. Then subsequently 3 month interval for the till 1 year of life. And harmful traditional practices for the care of newborns. So some harmful traditions are also practiced in the care of neonate. So that is use of unclean substance such as cow dung, mud, or umbilical cord. So the people, that is our ancestors, our grandparents, grandmothers, so they are following some harmful traditions that are not good for the health of the neonate. So like they are applying the cow dung and mud on the umbilical cord, then they are giving immediate bathing, then use of pre-lacteal feeds means uh, despite of breastfeeding, they are giving other feedings also. Then application of kajal in the newborn eyes. Then installation of oil drops into ears and nostrils. Then during bathing, the baby use of unhygienic herbal water, use of pacifiers, introduction of artificial feeding with diluted milk. Then giving opium and brandy also to neonates. Then use of ready-made expensive formula foods. So this was all about the essential newborn care. Okay, so I hope that you all understood. Thank you so much.